Greetings, beautiful family. Let's open this transmission with some water. Praying with water. We should actually never talk without being hydrated, without drinking the best water we can. Structured water, molecular hydrogen-rich water. Like in the olden days, or like somewhere still on earth it happens, where we sit by a stream and we drink right out of the waterfall, right out of the stream, fresh water, fresh air, fresh earth. How precious is that? I felt a bit, so much is moving this morning. I've just come off our Tuesday practitioner calls, where we always have great people on sharing, different practitioners, how they are weaving in the frequency devices into their clinics. And this morning there were 2 women presenting and sharing who are also functional medicine practitioners, which is like body talk, integrative medicine, where we are treating the body as an interbeing of the interconnectedness that goes on in the body, and the interconnectedness, that's especially what body talk is about, where we are looking at how we are affected by everything. We are affecting everything, and we are affected by our environment and everything. And we were since in the womb. That's where the construct started. So I'm very grateful to have studied so long in this amazing system and integrating that. We were always taught by Dr. John Beltran that it's about living it, and to really get it, we have to let it really sink in. This is like also about the soul embodiment and us becoming who we truly are. You cannot study that. You cannot buy it. You cannot get a degree about that. So we have to unbecome and unlearn everything we have become. But I've been speaking about that now since I started these live transmissions for 2.5 years or so, and writing about it. I want to share this morning a bit more, also going into what we covered in the practitioner call, and that's especially about women's health, female health, really those of us who have been in a female body since birth. Yeah. So we are flowing through life and being always affected by hormonal changes, always. And they can be brutal. And I feel welling up to that, because they can be brutal. And there is so many women in the world, in this planet, on this planet, suffering because of the hormonal changes, and because of that can be setting that off, but it's all interconnected. If we are not having the right water, if we are not having the right frequencies, if our circulation doesn't work, if we are not detoxing properly, it doesn't even also matter what we take and so on. There are some key points that are the fundament. It's like a car. If a car doesn't work, or let's say a car is it's super in order, but you don't put fuel in, or I don't know a lot about cars, so I can't compare the parts right now. But let's say there's no spark plugs. All of that, the car is the best example for that. Some people have more understanding about cars than their body. But just as simple that everybody can get. If you don't put fuel into a car, it won't drive. And if we don't have if you put the wrong fuel in the car, it will be ruined. If you put diesel into a petrol car or petrol into a diesel car, you ruin a lot, you disrupt it. So if we don't have the right fuel, we are not working properly. That's to start with, at any age. So what we are discovering, because now it's so much worse. Why is it so much worse? Because humans have gotten away from nature. I hardly see people barefoot. Yes, there's been a movement of barefoot shoes. There's still rubber, yeah, and you have the movement of barefoot, but we need to have the soles of our feet right on the earth. But the earth's frequencies are changing of all the mobile towers that have been put around. And all the Wi-Fi. You can be sitting here outside, but if you are full of Wi-Fi with maybe a smartwatch and a phone and maybe earpods in the air, the Earth's frequencies don't even fully get in. So there's people living in cities and so on, and they don't have that. And the lifestyle of people where they are hustling and have been conditioned to have to work all the time and be stressed. So that stress, lack of earth energy, all of that messes the body completely around. Then the pandemic we have been having of single parenting, and then what we have been having recently and lately in the last years, the lockdowns, the inflation, the increase in costs of everything, where humans haven't been able to catch up as quickly. There's so much stress in the systems, and the stresses already disrupt the hormones in everybody, not just in women, but add to that women. And so going back to the women, because women are especially affected by the hormonal fluctuations. That's the menstruation cycle. That is also becoming a mother, and everything changing dramatically, building a human in our body, and then nurturing that human and raising that human, and maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so. The hormonal changes are incredible. And it's not just hormonal, it's also our soul embodying this era we are in, where we are becoming aware, where we are breaking the chains, where we are clearing patterns, ancestral patterns. So all of that is incredibly demanding also on our physical body. And often we haven't had the full support that we need physically and energetically. So physically, that includes really physically caring for our living, our cars, our fires, stoking the fires, our homes, all this physical stuff, our gardens. How can one person or a woman do that all alone? A woman that is flowing through the hormonal changes. So women have become more masculine, and a lot of men have been emasculated. So everything is a bit out of whack, but everything goes out of whack, and it's high stress and chaos as we are reconfigurating. That is the part we are in. And so women are also now becoming more aware, and men too, and there's a lot of talk about it. Perimenopause, menopause, Yeah, but this is all symptoms also of toxification, of a system for a long time not having the right frequencies, and having operated also too independent. I shared a lot of transmissions about that this week, about the codependence and the interdependence and the hyper-independence. And when anything in our body goes hyper-independent, which can also be a hormone, so as within, so without, as we go hyper-independent and become too masculine, that also affects our hormones. Yeah, so, and for men as well. So And then there's all these substance use, all these like coffee addiction, the caffeine that depletes the nervous system as well, that most of humanity runs on. Then all the plant medicine journeys, which has become so rampant for so many years. Eventually there needs to be a stop to that as well, because that is also toxic on the body, and it becomes also, in some ways, can become an addiction, because we have to stop everything to embody and to come into balance again. So back to the woman, the female body. When the hormones are out of whack and the cells are not charged, and a woman has been living like a man, and she has also had to function like a woman in the body, going through these hormonal cycles, when the hormones shift, that can start at 35 or 45 or 50ish, and there has been neglect and living like a man and so on, or single parenting and super stressful, or trying to be creative and doing everything alone, there can be a full shutdown, and that can show up with anxiety, that can show up with frozen body parts, frozen shoulders, frozen knees, broken hearts, you know, because it's like a full-on bar. You can't do this anymore. When that hits, when the hormones shift even more, and you can't operate anymore like you used to, there can be a full breakdown. That is also the age where at the moment the highest homeless rate are women that age, and the highest suicide rate are women that age. And that shift, this is the collapse. And that's not going to suicide, but there is a death happening, a death and a rebirth, because this old version is dying, and we are also collectively shifting out of the era of the cross of planning. We are shifting out of the patriarchy. As I share, you can feel how vast, for years and years, over 20 years with the body talk system and so on, I have opened all these windows. I feel like I'm a house with all open windows, because my perception is so vast, because I have been trained to see that everything is interconnected. So that's why we also can't just say, just take this pill and everything will be okay. Just journey with ayahuasca and everything will be okay. Just sit with this medicine and everything will be sorted out. That's not how it goes. Because we have a body that we live in. We have a house, most of the people, a house or a tent or something where we live in. We have a car, we have a community, we have a family. There is so much that is affecting us. Then we have a soul, we are a soul. We have a body, and when we become aware and shifting and surrendering to soul, surrendering to source, surrendering to God, whatever we name it, that creation, to become the creator again, we have to have a body that functions optimally. And the body was built upon the constructs of our parents and our culture. That is epigenetic. I learned that in the body talk system as well, the epigenetic, and how we repattern that, how we work on the epigenetic layer to then heal that. It's all part of coming home to self. Everything I share, if it's a machine or if it's a transmission here, it's all part of the one bringing us back home to ourselves. Getting out of suffering and helping our bodies function better. Getting out of pain, getting out of mental pain and suffering, getting out of restrictions, repairing our bodies, revitalizing. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And I have to also speak. So before I turned the camera on, I felt I've been processing so much this morning, as I'm also becoming. When I listened in the practitioner call, I felt this. How can we women do this? I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And there can be this sort of, I just want to die. Yeah. Okay, I jump into this river and I'm gone. Well, I know that isn't the end, and I wouldn't be ending anyway, so that's not the solution, and I'm not an escapist, so I won't be doing that. I'm committed here. I'm committed to my role in my family, in my community, here with all of you, with my team, for humanity, shifting. I'm part of this shift. That's what I came here for. But it's hard, and of course I have days and weeks and months and had years where I went through full breakdown, and I'm still in the revitalization and the recovery, because we are also finding out new tools that are gifts of God that are helping us. Yeah, and this breakdown that I had last year in that way, where it was really painful walking and all of that, and my energy, it was so hard to exist, to do the easiest things, and then to maintain all the physical myself, and guiding my daughter into learning to drive and her final year of school and all of that. It's been very hard. And when we have this shift, I'm so grateful for all the support. And when we have this shift as well, there's a lot falling away of falsity and fakeness and pleasing others and niceties. That can be a shock in itself, because suddenly it can seem like that I mean just by setting boundaries. Yeah, that's all part of that. And you can see my body movement is I can still feel uncomfortable with that. Setting boundaries, saying no, I can't do that. And this is just also with myself. As we are deprogrammed of our constructed self, there comes that point where we are sick of that. I can't be that anymore. I can't be operating like my female ancestors have anymore. Yes, like their soul, but not anymore like the culture conditioned us to perform and to be and to pretend. Yeah, so it's over. So we are shifting. That's every day, every moment. That's why. So body talk, or what I am, is I'm an integrative. I can't even call it medicine. I am the mystery school with everything deprogramming, shifting, and I'm not giving myself at this point labels again and so on. I'm not calling my sessions or anything, because it's just totally reconfiguring. Yeah. What I've been sharing here always is just what comes through life. I'm not complaining. I'm not anything. I'm just transmitting what flows through. And yeah, it's also for myself. And I am connected to everything. So as I'm sharing here, this goes through my body into the grid. Telepathically, it goes into everyone and everything. No matter how many of you are listening here, liking it or sharing it. And it doesn't matter. Just like the birds out here, they don't have a Facebook account. but they are affecting the whole more than many on Facebook who are sharing fake stuff. It's just a portal. So it goes into the field also via that. So the birds here, this tree I'm sitting under, everybody, everything is affecting everything. Especially those that are just living as love, that are just hopping around here, sitting on this piece of wood down there. There's this beautiful cormorant. Can you feel how much all of these beautiful beings are affecting the whole? They are all field stabilizers. They are living as love. They are living as life. You know, and that is what I have been shifting into. That's what gives me, that's where I need to be, out here with all of life and transmitting to you and just being a stabilizer on this planet of love and of humans shifting and of humans getting out of suffering. And maybe you are that too. Good morning, Jake. Thank you for coming on again. Thank you for so often being on here with me, bringing this through. Very grateful for you. And yeah, if you are listening to this, you are most likely also very similar and here to live as love and here to live as authentically you, and having enough of not functioning properly. It's like drive an electrical car and you don't charge it. Would you do that? Like, well, what were humans thinking? And this shows how humans can be taken. We can be harvested from. We can be manipulated and taken. And taken, like this is just flowing out of me and my movement, taken by the head brain. That's why we need to balance the head, the heart, and the gut brain. And then all these different strategies of, oh, take this and that will help you. Look on all the advertising on Facebook or go to a shop, all these supplements. The supplements don't even work if our cells are not fired on. The supplements are there in the first place because humans have lost connection with Earth and with their own vital energy, and not having the right water as well, and so on. And then the body is hungry, and the body has been conditioned to all these addictions and wrong foods, and the glucose and the blood sugar level, everything isn't working properly. And yeah, and then the body is full of parasites and everything is out of balance. In Body Talk, I learned as well, we had a course that was called the Body Ecology, and we learned a lot about that, and the microbiome. And that is also highly, highly important. Highly important. We cannot function if our microbiome is not functioning. And this is too what we are noticing with the water. Many have had their guts being healing with the water, the return to origin water. And many are healing now with the, no, I can't use that word, are being supported. We have to be very compliant. There are wellness devices that are supporting our well-being. Yeah, and us, yeah, just fueling our energy on, supporting us in this transformation, supporting us in our daily living, supporting us Earth Angels. And that's not a woo-woo term. It's more like Earth Angel, Meta Spirit. Yeah, those of us who are here, who are remembering why we are here, who are here for this mission, and not in a savior complex, but just really deeply anchored in, here for Earth and for our fellow brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers. We are all global family. That's why I greet you always with family, because we are all a global family. And we are all going through these different stages. We are all different souls, and we are all healing in a different way. And we are all affecting everything else. And we are affected by everything else as well. And we need to come in fully into our alignment and not be distracted by everything. And when we don't operate from fear anymore, fear of missing out, fear of not enough, fear of not being good enough, fear of wrong and right, and fear of survival, that needs to be deeply deprogrammed. Otherwise, everything we are deciding on will be based on fear. And that's the opposite of love. And then it's just going to stay stressful. It's going to keep depleting the body. No matter which machine to use, we have to shift this pattern. And yeah, I've been shifting with the water. I've been shifting with the PEMF and terahertz. I've been shifting with earth. I've been shifting with the body talk system. I've been shifting with deep, long work of many, many years. And when we have done that, we can lead others to there. It depends where we are. And not by fear of missing out. It can't even really be put into a course because everyone is different. Yeah. And anyway, that's the sharing that flows through today. And I am grateful we are finding solutions. I am grateful for all the women especially that will be helped, that are being helped and assisted. Because without woman, man can't be. Through woman, man came here. Yeah, every man was born by a woman. We have to each take our roles back, our new roles as sovereign, interdependent man and woman, and care for each other, with each other, truly. Coming out of hyper-independence, out of separation, out of fear of each other. Yeah, there's such fear of each other because we've been so manipulated and fooled and drained and harvested from all these years of, you know, the avoidant and all the different attachment styles. I started this day actually reading about one of my old, often memories pop up. It was an old sharing about that love flows like a river, and a river flows, it doesn't attach. So all the attachment styles are also actually based in that we are not even meant to attach. We are meant to flow like a river, but healthily flow the river in the riverbed without fear. When we are love, there doesn't need to be fear of each other when we are in full integrity. But when we are in full integrity, we can smell the fakeness and we can see the fakeness and the lies. And they are running rampant on this earth as well. Yeah. 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 So animals, what they do is when they feel something strongly, they shake it out. And we have to move it through our body and not hold on to it. And when we feel something strongly and we see it and we process it and we speak to it, yeah, love is courageous and love is forgiving. That's true the last few days, and we have big planetary shifts as well happening with Pluto and Neptune, and yeah, you can go online and find out about that. I don't go deeper into that, but when we come out of the dreaminess and we become aware and we see also our own, as we are deprogramming our own, you know, we can all be mean, we can all be harsh, we can all be really bad. But then, you know, we go to love, we bring it all to love. We bring it all to spirit, to God, that is all love. whatever we call it. And love is forgiving. That is the only forgiving energy. And that's true where we can forgive everybody and everything. Because, yeah, please forgive them because they didn't know what they were doing. Yeah. Please forgive ourselves because we weren't aware of it. And then the Ho'oponopono, when we really feel, I am so sorry, I am so sorry. And then please forgive me. This to the self as well and to love. Thank you. I love you. I am love. We are love. We have to work with that. That is love. And bringing everything to love. Also when I feel this, oh wow, what have we been going through? How have we been even surviving that? And seeing all my sisters, all my mothers in such pain and suffering. It's enough, yeah? It's enough. But we still need to forgive. We are forgiveness. We are love. Love forgives. And we are coming out. There is light at the end of the tunnel. That's right there. That's ourselves, finding ourselves in our own tunnel, in the dark alignment, in the alignment with the dark matter, with the core of matter and source. There is the light at the end of the tunnel now. And we are entering a whole new era where all that is over, where we are shifting into the era in the human design of the cross of the sleeping phoenix. It's a rising phoenix. Our light body coming fully on and us living fully activated with the full energy we need. Charged up. We are electrical beings. We are also chemical beings. We need our microbiome to work. We need our electricity to be charged. We need our cells to charge. We need our mitochondria to be fully on. And then we have the energy to really be here for our mission and to love, to be love, to live as love, to live fully, to show up fully for our global family. And as I'm sharing that, my beautiful little bird friend has just come and I am winding down, becoming like this river, becoming like water, flowing, non-resistant. It's a beautiful aqua phoenix there. We are all interconnected. They are all hearing me, perceiving me without understanding my human words. But, you know, I can highly recommend to do land journeys, going outside and going to a portal where you spend time, day after day after day, night after night, no matter how long, just some time, and you drop into the oneness of all that is. It can be just a little park, it can be just one tree, it can be a little patch of grass. It doesn't matter. Or drive somewhere to a land, to do land journeys, different land journeys, praying with earth, reconnecting, to remember, to open up to the grid work, to open up to commune with the whole. And love is in everything. God is in everything. We are in the hands of love. We are in the hands of God. As is this little duck. We are all feeling each other. more ducks coming in. And yeah, to finish off, you know, dog spelled backwards is God, and the dog has such an incredible perception. They smell and sense everything, and yeah, we need to sharpen and attune our senses, open our perceptions up, and Earth is helping us, and we are helping Earth, and we are all helping each other and leading each other home. Let's have another drink. Programming our water. We drink to that, we drink this in, we let it flow into all of our cells, deeply hydrating, to just being who we truly are. Fully energetic, abundant, alive. Have a beautiful day. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, infinite love that we are.